I'd like to say that I've always been a designer, really, because I can remember as far back as my first report card and just scribbling pictures of Power Ranger robots on the back of them, and I think that's just always been in my mind. Like, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, just do something creative. It's what I really like to do.
Una de las cosas que podemos hacer para los latinos, para estar aquí en la comunidad de arte gráfico, es poder presentar el arte gráfico a través del mundo, a través de los conocimientos y todo lo que nos incumbe a nosotros como latinos alrededor del mundo. It will help me in a special way just to bring the Latino community to the graphic design, because we got so much in our culture we could show the whole world in a different aspect of the graphic design.
Graphic design to me is creating a visual communication between a business and a client and speaking to their demographic and their audience.
Can you tell us your name?
My name is Jackson Tejada.
What do you choose career in graphic design?
I've always been creative as long as I can remember. I remember as a kid I would divide my time between writing and drawing and music, and I finally just landed on drawing as a way of making a living.
Can you tell us what you do?
Yes, I work for the advertising department in Badcock and Moore Furniture. We do the inserts that you get in the mail every 2 weeks. We also do ads for the newspapers on an as-needed basis.
How has becoming a graphic artist impacted your life?
Well, I see things in a completely different way. I've learned to look at the patterns in life. I've learned to look at colors in a different way, and so it's just really helped me to appreciate things, I think, a lot more.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us your job?
Sure. My name is Dawn Ziegler. I work at Thomas Printworks. I do a range of graphic design, print work, layout, ads, and computer-aided drafting.
In your own words, what is graphic design?
Graphic design is expression. It's what you want it to be. It's an emotion, it's a desire, it's a passion. It's whatever you make it your own to be.
What triggered your desire to become a graphic art designer?
I started a long time ago doing pencil work, doing the old graphic design on pencil and paper. I dropped out of school, went back 20 years later.
At what age?
I started when I was in 20s, came back to it in my 40s, and I still love it, and it's a different feeling because I'm working more with graphics and computers nowadays rather than pencil and paper, but I still always go back to pencil and paper.
My name is Nelson Rodriguez from Studio Time Media. I am a graphic designer and multimedia consultant.
You consider your most challenging project or the hardest one that you had to accomplish?
Okay. My most challenging project was a project where, of course, someone told me that it couldn't be done. I had this idea to put holographic vinyl, which is, if some of you understand what holographic is, kind of like that same little sticker that they put on their baseball caps and has that holographic look to it, just kind of glimmers under the sunlight and under regular lights. So I just had this crazy idea that I wanted to vinyl wrap holographic vinyl on my Kawasaki Ninja. So I went to a couple of other shops that had the holographic vinyl. I purchased my own holographic vinyl, and the guys there kept saying, "No, it can't be done." I'm like, let's do some heat to it because it's vinyl. It should wrap around these contours. No, the heat's just going to damage the vinyl. And of course, they don't have vinyl right now at this time that can wrap to contours. So just as I continue to think and drive, and sometimes I'm driving long distances, I'm thinking to myself, like, it's not impossible. There's something that can be done to wrap this vehicle or this sport bike in holographic vinyl. So I just started thinking about other things and that's where I give advice to you guys. If you run across a project like that, is like, think outside that box. What are the other things in the world that have contours and they move, but it's hard, whatever is on their body. So I started thinking of snakes and fish and just anything that had scales, and remember that those scales are on the body of these animals that are contoured. And so then I created a design, which then of course was just one repetitive design of a scale over and over onto the vinyl, excuse me. And eventually you have a negative of the vinyl and a positive of the vinyl. And so we pulled off the negative that was cut. It literally took, oh geez, days of cutting. This plotter just cut and cut and cut, it never stopped. And then to actually peel that as well, you have to peel that and then not have the other little pieces of vinyl come off of the backing. There you go, that's the right word. And so the hours that was put into that as well, and then whatever else was had to be done. Then of course I was okay with paying the guys to wrap the bike, and they were like, no, if we mess it up, this and that. So even with doing that and showing that this could be possible, they still didn't want to do it. So I said, okay, that's fine. I'll take it and I'll wrap it. So that took, oh God, the first time I worked on it was like 8 hours. We're talking about just 8 hours of putting, and it wasn't like one piece at a time. It was like you find a spot that's kind of contoured enough to work, and you just work your magic. And some of them will mess up, and you'll spend hours removing these little scales off, and then go back, and then just continue to add this vinyl, this holographic vinyl to it. So days later, I finally finished, and I take it back to the shop where they were like, no, 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 over and over, and they were the first guys that were out there like, oh my God, I can't believe this was done. They're just taking pictures left and right. Me, I was excited that I made it happen, but I was also excited because I just added that to my portfolio. So a creative piece, it could be the piece that gets you a job.